What is up, guys? Welcome back. Today I am doing a video related to the sports betting sector. So we got some great news across a few different companies, but with this current market, we did not see much of a reaction in the stock price. Regardless, I want to cover these articles because I think this information gives us an idea of the potential of sports betting in 2022. If I have time, I will also try to do some technical analysis, so make sure to watch through the entire video if you guys are investing in sports betting. Before we start, make sure to smash the like button. These videos take a while to make, so I do appreciate all the support you guys are giving me. Also consider subscribing if you would like to see more videos like this. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with today's video. So this is actually something I mentioned in one of my earlier videos this week. I said that there could be a possibility of getting an update regarding some of the betting over the weekend. Yesterday, we got an update from New York's first week numbers. As the heading says, mobile New York sports betting starts with $150 million bet in the first weekend. So the first 4 New York sports bettor operators took in $150 million. $150 million was generated from over 650 unique player accounts. That is bringing New York's revenue to $357 million in just the first week. Just in the first 10 days, there were 1.2 million sports betting accounts created. So that is from January 8, which is that Saturday that they plan to launch on New York, leading up to Monday night's football Rams versus the Cardinals game. Out of those 1.2 million accounts, there were 878,000 unique players. Right away, you can tell that these unique players did create more than one account. There were almost 900,000 unique players, but there were 1.2 million accounts. So there was about 30% of these players that actually created more than one account. So that's actually pretty good news because it's telling us that more than one sportsbook actually got the opportunity to get a sign up. Since sports betting in New York just recently got legalized, there's definitely going to be players that sign up for more than one platform, either to take advantage of each promo that they sign up for, also kind of to see which platform fits more of their betting style. So not surprised that some of the players will be jumping around platforms, at least for a while. And that would actually also make sense because out of all those signups, over 700,000 people are actually new to sports betting. The data tells us that New Yorkers are dumping illegal sports books for the new legal options, and operators are all excelling at attracting first-time bettors. So as much as we hate that DraftKings is spending tons of money in marketing, it is actually paying off in attracting some of these new bettors, but they still need to manage that better. So the other thing I wanted to highlight on here, you guys know I am investing in DraftKings. They actually launched theirs on the first day, which was January 8th. And what I gathered from this quote, the latest being BetMGM, which launched Monday morning. So I am assuming that is this past Monday. So that is telling us that a lot of those 1.2 million signups were probably going to be between either Caesars or DraftKings, because I think those were the only two that were actually ready on launch date. So if you're a DraftKings investor, that is something to definitely pick up on. It's just showing us that DraftKings is staying on top of things. They're full aware of the legalizations and they're executing all their plans to get everything on time, where some of these other ones are still kind of lagging or not entering the market till a little bit later. And then again, a lot of these are doing their 1,000 risk-free bet offer just to reel in a lot of these new signups. And so speaking about the best sports betting sites, I decided to pull up the most recent article on that. This is showing us the best payouts, best odds, and juiciest bonuses. And so the first one you got here is DraftKings, of course. Not too surprised there. The other one I do want to talk about is BetMGM. They did release some articles today, so we'll cover that in just a second. But another one I want to put in your radar is PointsBet. I did make a video on this one a while ago. Definitely take a look at that video. I think PointsBet is actually a great acquisition candidate, so definitely check that out. So all that is really good news. New York is shattering all the sports betting records so far. That was to be expected though. You guys know that when New York was going to become legalized, it was definitely going to shake things up. We still have some more states that shouldn't be on board. Florida, Texas, and California, like I said in another video. Those are going to be some big catalysts as well. I do also want to cover this article because I think it's very bullish. It's giving us a better idea of what to expect for 2022. BetMGM raises the 2022 revenue outlook as the US sports betting takes off. They are expecting to turn a profit next year, while revenue in 2022 is likely to exceed its previous forecast as the US sports betting joint venture between MGM Resorts and N10 expands into more markets and launch new products. So BetMGM raised its guidance from $1 billion up to $1.3 billion for 2022. So if you do the math there, that is about 30% increase from the previous forecast. That right there should give you guys an idea of how big sports betting can be this year. Now, I'm not sure how that will all work out because football is coming to a close. I don't really know how the summer works as far as sports betting. If you guys are more familiar with that, I would love to know in the comments below. I do know that we have the World Cup, so there might be an opportunity there, but that also won't be till the end of the year. Gambling companies have been looking to capitalize on the growing US sports betting market, but they also have been tackling the online gaming, and that's just casino style games and card games through the internet. So anything related to like table games, they'll just be virtual. But all that has been picking up since the start of the pandemic. The last important thing on here is BetMGM said it was gaining market share in line with its long-term target of 20 to 25% in the US sports betting and iGaming. So I think that is great news. I think they're currently in 19 jurisdictions. Now, I'm not currently invested in BetMGM, but I am investing in Draftkings. But if BetMGM is raising its revenue forecast, then I would not be surprised if Draftkings possibly does the same. They've been closing some really good partnerships, for example, Oregon, and one that I'm going to show you guys in just a second. But they ought to have about 25% of the market as well. So I could definitely see some similar revenues for Draftkings. Now let's move over to Draftkings. They did announce a new partnership. Draftkings and Tulalip tribes of Washington joined forces to operate sports betting in the Evergreen State. This came out today. They announced an exclusive market access partnership that will bring Draftkings retail sportsbook experience to the state of Washington. Plans are underway to open Draftkings retail location at Tulalip Resort and also at Quilceda Creek Casino. They do have initial designs for the Draftkings sportsbook at the Tulalip Resort. It's going to have a 5,000 square foot space with a 50-foot video wall and more than 2,000 kiosks and 8 ticket windows. As far as plans for the Quilceda Creek, they don't have plans yet. They are still in the planning phase, but it is also going to have state-of-the-art technology and share some of the same world-class betting experience found across all the other Draftkings retail sportsbooks. So this is pretty good news. It's just showing us continuation of growth and expansion. It's not earth-shattering news, but once they do get this operational, Washington will be the 19th state in which Draftkings is live. So I'm guessing this might be the first exposure into the Washington state. So I don't follow many of the other sportsbook operators, but every time I read about Draftkings, they are getting exclusive partnerships with different casinos or more recent lotteries like in our last video. So I don't really know how they stack up against operators, but so far I'm pretty impressed with what they are doing. I'll have to spend some time and look at how much of the market share Draftkings is owning as of right now. And I will also be curious to find out what exclusive partnerships DraftKings has that none of the other operators have. But for now, just think of the marketing spend as short-term pain to be able to get some of these longer-term gains. The other DraftKings news I did want to share with you guys is today it was confirmed DraftKings is the only sportsbook operator that's going to be advertising during the Super Bowl. So today, DraftKings is the only confirmed sportsbook operator that has bought ad time for the next month's Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is set for February 13th, which is going to be the biggest game this year, especially because legalization is going to be through the roof. This year's Super Bowl will be expected to be the most legally bet in the NFL championship game in the history of US professional football. That's due to the regulated sportsbook continuing to expand into new states. I will say that there are going to be tons of people watching, so it might be worth investing this even if it's just 30 seconds. So you guys let me know your thoughts. Do you think this is a good investment? Moving away from actual sports betting operators, I want to show you guys the third way that you can play sports betting in 2022. This is Genius Sports. I've covered this one in a few different videos. They actually provide the data to the sports betting operators. They actually got an analyst coverage today. The analyst at Credit Suisse gave a outperform rating for Genie stock. They gave Genie a price target of $15 per share. I think we're trading around $6 right now, so that is actually 141% upside. Overall, the average price target for Genie is around $21, which is going to be even a higher upside than that. This is one that I'm actually very bullish on, at least for the next 4 to 5 years, just because they do have an exclusive NFL contract. Only they can distribute the NFL data and next-gen stats. All the sportsbook providers basically have to go through Genie to get to some of the data that they need. And just to bring everything together, we view Genie as an attractive way to gain leverage to the growth of global gaming revenue, as well as proliferation of in-game betting, which should drive upside to numbers. They also have tons of expansion partnerships. You can go through their website and take a look at their partnerships. but just the other day they expanded one of their partnerships with Bet365. So I wanted to share this news with you. Genius Sports is going to provide Bet365 Sportsbook a full suite of premium streaming and official data solutions. This is going to expand their existing long-term partnership, which helped to establish the market for official sports data on competitions such as the English Premier League. As one of the first sportsbooks to implement Genius's live stream service, Bet365 has agreed to a major uplift in their package essentially. So now Genius Sports will actually expand their streaming solution, will also deliver unique content to help enhance place betting and customer retention for their Bet365 platform. The last thing I want to cover on Genius before we move over to the charts is they do have a new short interest update. As of December 31st, they have over 5.3 million shares being shorted. That is a growth of 23% from December 15th when they had 4.3 shares being shorted. So currently as it sits, it is 5.5% of the shares that are being short. Based on the daily average volume, they do have days to cover of 2.6 days. And the reason that they were shorting this so much is because back around November, they did get price cuts. Some of the price targets were changed from 33 to 20, 32 to 23, 22 to 13. But with this recent price upgrade, this could start changing things around. The other second thing that they took advantage of in shorting it is because of their earnings estimates. So they reported negative 37 cents per share, and that missed the analyst estimates of 12 cents per share. So they missed on that, but they did beat their revenue expectations. They had 69 million in revenue versus the 62 estimated. So this could possibly become a short squeeze candidate. The only thing that I would consider though is that it does have a high institutional ownership. So about 44% of the outstanding shares are owned by institutional investors and hedge funds. And so that can give them a lot of control over how the stock price acts. So moving over to the chart, this is Bets ETF. It is Round Hill Sports Betting and iGaming ETF. This one basically tracks the entire sports betting sector. So if you don't want to pick an individual sports betting operator or a single stock, you can essentially just invest in this one and that will cover the entire sector. If I'm being honest with you guys, I'm not too bullish with the sector right now, at least not in the short term. We're breaking into one of our more critical supports here around $22 and $20 here. As you can see, we broke this recent high, which was $22.50. And so I think we're definitely going to come down to about $21.50 now. That's going to be around this monthly level. This is going to be the level that I'm watching in the overall sector. You can also take a look at individual stocks. This is Draftkings trading at $21.40. As of today, it did break this descending support that I had drawn. This still can be a false breakdown. We can get back inside the wedge. If the market continues to sell off tomorrow, then I would expect this next support to be around $19.50. Possibly even the bottom end of this, which would be $18.50. But I am optimistic that we bounce off of this one just because we have a nice monthly support here. If not, like I said, things can get pretty ugly, but hopefully the market starts stabilizing and we can hold this level up here. So from a longer time frame, definitely watch this level. This is going to be very crucial. Our next big resistance will be around $26. And if we break down, then $15 could hold us just because it's a psychological number. So those will be the big three resistance and supports to watch. Looking at a shorter time frame, this is the 15 minute. I am expecting a bounce around this level here. It looks to be in this sort of channel here. So I would expect the bounce here to come back up to about $22. And then from there, I'll be watching this descending resistance and then go from there. So guys, that is all I have for today's video. Let me know if you guys are playing the sports betting sector and which company you'll be investing in for the long term. Obviously, I think sports betting was going to be huge this year. Some of those numbers I showed you guys. In the short term, just watch the indexes. You can also watch that Bet ETF for critical supports. But like I always say, in the long term, I think this is going to do great because we are only halfway in the legalizing all the states. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I'll see you guys in the next video, and as always, keep moving forward.